Okay, so I'm beginning this look on basically just my natural straight hair. I'm going to curl it afterwards because we're going to be putting a lot of braids for this kind of festival hair. So I'm going to do the hard work before I go and curl all the rest of my hair because that's pointless. So we're going to be doing a few different sections. I'm going to go right behind my bang area and grab a nice chunk of hair, kind of about this size. I still want to have some hair framing right around my face so there isn't any holes. Basically a nice size chunk like this, and we're going to create kind of a loose 3-strand braid. So all of these braids are going to be beyond easy. So when you make this 3-strand braid, you don't want to do it super tight. You want to do it very loose in the beginning because it's going to make a difference. When we start our braid, you can definitely see how this part right here is a lot softer. It's not super tight and gathered. We want to make sure that we do our braids nice and soft. You want to braid this first braid until it meets the very middle of the back of your head. Tie it off with an elastic, and then we're going to fatten this braid out. So basically, you guys have seen me do this in a million other videos. I'm just going to start at the top, kind of holding towards the bottom, and I'm really going to fan this out. Now, depending on how avant-garde you want your braid to be, depends on how much you pull out. Guys, we're going for music festival hair, so let's get pretty crazy with it. Alright, so braid 1 done. Now we're going to move on to the second braid. So I'm going to take from this section here towards the middle of the back of my head, and basically just until you get to the middle. This braid I'm going to create a rope braid. So I'm going to kind of flip towards the back so you guys can see it easier because I want to kind of hold it more towards the back. So all I'm going to do is split this into 2, take my individual strand towards the right. So you can see I've rotated towards the right, and then I'm going to put this up and over the left strand. Rotate towards the right, up and over towards the left strand. So we're just going to keep on repeating this process, making a rope braid. So basically when you are done, it should stay in that little kind of rope strand form. Now what we're going to do is just kind of tug it out because everything in this tutorial is going to be tugged out and softened and just messy. So now we have 2 braids, moving on to the third. I want it to be right under the one in the back, so the previous section, and we're going to hold this towards the front. It's going to make a big difference in the end on how you look at your braids and finish them. So all I'm going to do is create an easy 3-strand braid. Tie it off and fatten it out. Now I'm just going to do the same exact 3 braids on the opposite side of my head. Okay, so now I have all of my braids done on this side, so we're going to start putting them up. So first we're going to start with the 2 strands in the front. That's what we're going to be putting up. So our 2 3-strand braids that we did in the very front. What we're going to do is take up the back rope braids that we did, and we're just going to put them kind of on top of our head to make sure that they stay out of the way. We're going to leave down the underneath 3-strand braids. That was the last braid that we did. So taking your 2 braids in the front, we're going to take them towards the back and marry them in the middle. Taking off your little elastics, we're going to now just combine this into one. So you still have these little strands that are hanging out from underneath the bottom. We're going to do these last. Let's get back and go to the rope braids. These braids are basically just going to add texture and give us a little bit more going on back here. So what we're going to do is just kind of lay them down. We're going to put it right on top of the previous braid. Pin when you get over to the side. And then you're just going to drape this and hide this underneath that rope braid. Hide your ends under your previous rope braid. Then we're going to take the other rope braid and layer it right on top. And we're going to tuck that end underneath so you can't see it. Once you have that all pinned up, you can see the rope braid just gives it that added little bit of texture in the back. So now we're just going to finish up the front. First, we're going to take one of our braids, make sure that you don't have any additional hair on it, and you're going to lay it flat and bring it up and over the top to create a crown braid. I'm going to kind of set this one a little bit further back so I can have my other braid laying in the front. Then I'm going to take this braid, drape it up and over the top. Take your little end part and then hide it underneath your previous braid. So now all we have to do is make sure that these front braids stay in place. The reason why I love these hairpins, which are the open bobby pins, is because you can kind of secure your braid in a way that doesn't make it super tight to the head. So I'm going to kind of hold my mirror so I can see, but I'm basically going to take this braid and weave them together and kind of sew them together so that they stay together but not like hard to my head. So I'm going to take this braid and marry it to the previous braid and just weave them in and out to make sure that they're not going to separate. And these open hairpins hide really easily, and that's why I love them. Now you can just look around, do any finishing touches to any of the braids that you need to do, maybe pull them out a little bit, pull out some pieces, make them a little bit more wispy, and then go and curl your ends. I'm just going to be using a 1-inch wand, and I'm going to wrap it around my wand for some really soft waves. Okay, so now that I've curled all of my hair, you guys can just kind of see how it is. I'm going to finish off with some nice flexible hold hairspray. I'm just going to kind of spray my curls, let them finish, and then spray my braid. This is a good time when you want to add a little bit of texture. You can kind of pull some pieces out and hairspray it to give it just a little bit more of a whimsical look. And now you have this really absolutely amazing kind of music festival summer hair. And if you guys want to know where I got my really, I love these guys. I wear them so much. These are the metallic tattoos. I get them from Chopper Kisses. These are the free spirit tattoos. They have all kinds of them. You guys can see the ones I've already cut up. But these are so cool, and they're going to be so much fun for summer, and I've already been wearing them because it's pretty much summer here. I'll leave that information down below in the description box so you guys can get your own little collection of really fun metallic tattoos.